Hello everybody, I am Fuzzy Face and welcome back to this Bradford City career on Football Manager 2016. As you can see up here, we've got a new key player in the squad. It is Will Keane from Hull City, on loan at the moment. He's on loan till the end of the season, not being able to get a game at Hull after joining for £1 million from Manchester United. Somehow, someway, we've managed to get him here to Bradford City. He's agreed to join. I didn't think he'd agree to join at first. As you can see, he's 4-star rated. He's by far and away the best player in the team. He's not been doing too great though at the moment. He's not been doing too great. He has played 2 matches. He has scored 2 goals, but they have both been from the penalty spot. Other than that, he's not really been able to get into the games as much, but hopefully once he gets used to our tactics, once he gets used to everything else, he's going to start getting himself into the games a little bit more. Last time out, we played Charlton and Walsall in the last episode. Since then, we had a 1-0 win over Scunthorpe, a nice goal from Chris Willett from outside the box. Then we moved on to Bury, an own goal from Cameron Burgess in the 46th minute. We then scored a second goal from Alex Gilead, giving us a 2-0 win over Bury. We then drew 3-3 against Northampton. Nicky Law, Chris Willett opening up the game within 2 minutes, within about a minute of each other actually. They both scored goals. An own goal then again in the 13th minute. Then Northampton managed to get back into the game. 3 goals, we couldn't stop them getting back into that game. They managed to equalise. The game finished 3-3 from that point forward. And then against the Wolverhampton under-23s, this is where Will Keane made his debut for us. We drew 2-2, once again throwing away a lead. This time a 2-0 lead after Nathaniel Knight Percival and Will Keane scored from the penalty spot. We then let Noah Dicko and Andy Wyman score. They equalised. We lost the game on penalties. And then again, once again at Shrewsbury, after Will Keane opened up the scoring from the penalty spot, Stephen Humphrey scored in the 77th minute. For the 3rd game in a row there, we threw away the lead. We are now sat 5th in League 1. We do have a game in hand, which means we could rise above MK Don. So hopefully that's going to happen. I'm not sure if this is our game in hand. I don't know whether anyone else is playing. But anyway, we're going to jump into the match against Chesterfield now. Chesterfield now languishing in the relegation zone, so hopefully we can get a good result here. We do have Liam Kelly coming back from injury. His match sharpness is not there. He's had 2 matches off the bench. Yes, he has, coming on in the 73rd, and then in the 88th minute he wasn't really fit enough. At this point, it was just to give him a little run out. He got almost about 18 minutes against Shrewsbury, so hopefully we're going to have him back to full fitness pretty soon. He's not fit enough to go into the team against Chesterfield. He still has to sit on the bench. We do have Nicky Law up front. It looks like they're going to be playing a Christmas tree formation here. We do have Nicky Law in this advanced playmaker slot. And David Templeton, he's not been doing too good. I'm gonna put Gilead back in the side. We're gonna move Templeton to the bench, as we've got Marshall out injured at the moment. He's been really good on the right wing. We still have Doyle out injured, so that puts us at 6 for loan players. So what we're going to have to do, we're going to have to let Sattlemeyer come into the team. We're going to have to leave that empty, and then we're going to have to go to the under-23 squad to get Cracknell into the team, get rid of the under-23 players. So yeah, hopefully we can give Liam Kelly, try and give him about half an hour here. I need to set the reserves to play with the same formation that the first team plays at, so when the reserves play, Liam Kelly gets into the side. Because he has been made available for the reserves in the last game, but he wasn't actually involved in the game at all. I'm guessing that's because our reserves don't actually play with an attacking midfielder, so we need to set it so the reserves play with an attacking midfielder. But other than that, the team's still pretty strong here. Pretty much first choice apart from the goalkeeper and right winger. So we're almost at a point where we've almost got the first team back. Not bad. We're halfway. We're past the halfway point of the season. We might be able to field our first team squad at some point pretty soon for the first ever time. Anyway, we'll proceed to the match, and Josh Cullen is the key man. Their key man is Ched Evans. Out of prison this season, he's scored 13 goals, so hopefully we can keep him at bay here. We are 1-6 on favourites, so hopefully we can make that count here. And as we thought, they are playing the Christmas tree formation. So here we go with the match. We have set Ched Evans to be tightly marked. We're going to tackle him hard. We're going to show him onto his weaker foot. Hopefully we can keep Ched Evans out of the game. He is obviously their best chance of a result in this game. But Gilead skipped past the defender there. His crosser a little bit wayward. Doesn't get into the area. But we're winning the possession game here, 62%, so we'd look to be doing pretty decently, but Chesterfield actually outpassing us at the moment. And they've brought the possession game back to almost equal. And who's that that's injured at the moment? We've got someone injured there. Someone with a bandage on the head. It's Mercado playing with a bandage on his head. I'm wondering if he's got a gashed head. Hopefully he's going to be alright to carry on. We can't actually see his condition at the moment. We'll wait until the... And there we go. We get the notification that he does have a gashed head. But Chesterfield break here. Brown forces a save out of Sattelmeyer. Sattelmeyer, his first action of the game. Although no, with Chesterfield actually pretty much matching us here. Actually doing a lot better than I expected them to do. Hopefully we're not going to go on to lose this game. Always seems to be the case in Football Manager. You play really well against the top teams, then you meet a team that's really struggling and you end up losing. Although that happens in real life as well. Always seems to happen with Bradford City, so it's not too unrealistic for this game. Here we go, Meredith. Willock breaks now. Can we get the ball in? No, we can't. Cullen Willock off his head straight at the keeper. Fulton easily managing to take that one in. We're back to winning the possession game now. Mercado's just had a quick glance at his condition. He's not, doesn't seem to be that bad. But man on the left after taking the free kick, and that hits the flag. And the man gets it. Can he break? Willock in low. Gets his head on that, but Fulton gets behind it. Fulton making the save there. So that is half time now. We're the favourites here, so we're going to go calm. No, actually, we'll just let Black take it. Oh no, we shouldn't have done that. He didn't make anyone happy there, so we'll go passionate and we'll say they can make a difference. That seems to cheer a few people up, but it's not going to cheer Chris Willock up, is it? Right, we shouldn't have let him do that. I don't usually let the assistant take the half-time team talks, but didn't work out on that one. Right, yeah, so let's get into the second half here. McMahon gets it in. Gilead finds Law. Law shoots, forces a save out of Fulton. So Law trying to do his best here to force us not to bring Kelly on. But we're going to do it. I do want Kelly back up to full fitness. But we're still struggling here. And there we go. Law scores. Nicky Law, he's not been doing the best, but the first game where we can get Liam Kelly on a little bit earlier, he's playing out of his skin, really. And we're up to 65% possession now. So we might go counter at some point, but I still want to get... And Knight Percival now seems to have picked up a knock. And that's Mercado with his bandage head, gets onto the end of that front and easily gets behind it. We're still going to get Liam Kelly on here because he is by far and away our most creative and best player. Early on in the season, he was absolutely immense. Pretty much the reason we were winning games early in the season. So we'll get him on, even though Nicky Law, even though he scored that goal and had those few chances, his rating's not the best. So other than that, he's possibly not been having the best of games. So I don't feel too guilty about bringing Liam Kelly on. And we might need to make this change. Percival recovering though. Seems to be recovering alright. Yeah, so we've got a free kick deep in there. No, that was a free kick. I thought we were on the attack then, but it was a wayward throw-in from Meredith. Gave them a chance. And can they get another chance? He whips it back in, but Sattelmeyer this time scoops that ball in. Maybe we should go counter here. Chesterfield starting to open us up a little bit more. Maybe. It's Vansel is on a yellow card. We don't want him getting sent off again. He's missed a lot of games recently through suspension. Other than that, the defence, we don't. Oh, we need to actually put Kilgallen on the bench for. Is he not injured? Can't remember why he's not even on the bench. Yeah, we need to get Kilgallen back on the bench just in case we get any injuries in centre defence because we don't actually have anyone there. Although Vanselo can move back if he was on the pitch, and Dien is sort of alright in the centre of defence as well. But here we go with Kelly. Kelly gets it out to Gilead. Kelly, a good ball in, finds Willock. And that goes wide, so that's why we've got Kelly in the team. He's got an amazing ability to find passes. Meredith, meanwhile, gets the ball to Kelly, and this time it comes to Dieng. Are we going to get another shot on target here? Hopefully we can get something late on. 1-0's not the worst of results. I don't want to speak too early here, and it looks like I am. No, I'm not. At least we haven't thrown away a lead. The last 3 games we've thrown away leads. This time against Chesterfield we haven't, so that is a step forward over recent form. Kelly from deep almost gets it through there. Comes to Cullen. Is this going to be the end of the game here? Hopefully Chesterfield don't end up breaking, but yes it is. A 1-0 victory over Chesterfield. I would have liked more goals. We're still struggling to get Will Keane into the game. His finishing good, his movement's good. He should. A lot of our other players have been doing a lot better than he has, so maybe we'll take him out of the team, maybe. We're not going to do it against Millwall, but if he doesn't pick up soon, and look at that, we've got Knight Percival out injured for 3 weeks now, so just as I was saying, we're getting back up to full strength. We've got more players out, and that looks like both of these players are going to be missing the game against Millwall, which is not what we wanted. We've got Millwall coming up in 2 or 3 days, so yeah, they're both going to be missing the game, which is definitely what we didn't want. So I'm going to skip ahead. We'll come back when it's time for Millwall. Right, so we're at the game with Millwall now. We need to keep Steve Morrison out of this game. That is going to be pretty hard because look at this. We've got Rory McArdle injured, as we knew. We've got Knight Percival injured, as we knew. Romain Vansor is now out injured, an abdominal strain, out for 3 weeks. So we've got to take the defenders out. Vansor, who would have been moving back into this position, is now out. So we're going to bring Kilgallen back into the team, and it's going to have to be Dieng moving into the back line, which means we don't really have a ball-winning midfielder now either, other than Danny Devine. He can play in this position. So who are we going to bring? Billy Clark's back from injury now. He was slightly out of it, and we'll bring Jones in onto the bench. Maybe to give us a little bit more creativity going forward, we're going to risk Liam Kelly. He's lacking match sharpness, as is Matthew Kilgallen. So this is going to be a hard match. A few of these players in the team not really that sharp. So hopefully we can get something going here. But I'm not really expecting us to beat Millwall, who are currently 8th in the table. So maybe we should expect a draw. They do have 1 loss this season. We did beat them 3-1 earlier in the season away from home. And everyone's lacking match sharpness at the moment. So we are the favourites, but obviously we've had a lot of injury, so I wouldn't expect that to be the case. They're playing a 4-4-2. Aidan O'Brien, 10 goals. Morrison, 12 goals. Yeah, it's going to be hard to keep them at bay. We need to really keep Ferguson and Wallace on the back foot, that they can't get the ball forward. But obviously they're really strong in the air going forward with Morrison. Just hoping that our back line, the 3 main defensive players in the centre, these 3 a little bit weakened now. None of them first choices. Only Kilgallen really a second choice here. Dieng really should be here. And then Devine hasn't played much this season. Only 5 substitute appearances in the league, but he's been thrown into the deep end here against the Lions. So hopefully we can get something going. So, right, no, I don't want control. I forgot to change that. We want to go counter here. We're going to try sit a little bit deeper because Millwall possibly going to play on the long ball. We don't want them breaking. Hopefully Kelly's not going to re-injure himself here. We've taken a risk in putting him in the team, but ball goes that way to Meredith. Almost gets it through to Gilead early on here. What we really need to do is make our possession game work for us here with the weakened team. And there, a wonderful cross from Meredith finds Gilead on the back post. Within 5 minutes, we're now 1-0 up. I wasn't really expecting this at all, but with a weakened team, we seem to be playing really well here. Maybe Millwall. Oh, I don't know what's happening, but was that? I think that was Meredith that time. Meredith almost finds Gilead again. So Gilead really threatening on the back post. He's been really strong in the air this season. It's not really his forte, but he's playing really well on the right wing in that he might be keeping Mark Marshall out of the team when Marshall comes back from injury, but we'll just have to wait and see about that. But Devine now gets it back to McMahon. We've had 67% of the possession, now rising to 68, so we're doing really well in our game plan here and keeping Millwall off the ball. And that's Cullen outside the box with a header. Meredith whips it back in, but can't find Gilead this time. And Millwall get a chance to break. It comes to Aidan O'Brien. He puts it to Shane Ferguson, but Gilead, immense, wonderful sliding tackle. Gilead involved in most facets of this game so far. Really putting himself about. Cullen fires a free kick over the bar. Hopefully, and Devine this time gets the ball back. So Devine doing really well as well. He is one for the future, but I think we're going to outstretch him. We're going to go a lot further than what his ability will get to. So
even though we're still trying to slowly build him up, we're possibly going to be up the upper end of the championship by the oh, and Millwall just fired that over. We're going to be just up the upper side of the championship, hopefully. And by that time, he's possibly going to be, he's not going to be able to get to a point where he's good enough for the team. But he seems to be good enough for this level. Now we get Keane breaking through. He does seem to be good enough for this level. He's not rated as such where he's good enough for this level, but most of the games he's played pretty well. He has played in the Checker Trade Trophy as well, where I think he scored a goal. I'm sure he did. And he played really well there. But anyway, back to commentating on the game. We are dominating possession. We've limited Millwall to one shot. They haven't had a shot on target yet, which is really good. So the game plan totally working here and totally cutting off any sort of supply to the forwards for Millwall. Keane breaks, he gets it to Gilliard, but Gilliard tries to hit that with the side of his foot for some reason. Slices it wide. McMahon this time with a free kick, and once again high over the centre of the goal, as usual with our free kicks. I don't know why we're not letting Liam Kelly take him. He won't change much, and we'll say it. Ooh, it wasn't the first half. We'll stay calm. We'll just say don't get complacent. That's lost confidence in Gilliard. Hopefully that's not going to affect his performance this time. Maybe we'll say we've got faith. Maybe that'll... Yeah, that's fired him up again. So, back to normal. Second half, 1-0 up. Hopefully we can hang on to this. Now Millwall still only had one shot on target, but early on they almost break through the centre. Aidan O'Brien can't get onto that, cleared up by our defence. Now on the attack again, Kelly gets it to Cullen. Cullen meanwhile from outside the box, gets it back to Kelly, but Kelly fires it straight at Archer there. Archer scoops that in easily. We're currently third in the table, but Sheffield United is still performing well, 4 points ahead, but hopefully we can keep this up. We need to start putting pressure on Sheffield United. We don't want to go, and we say that, well, Brian breaks, he puts it wide. We don't want to let Sheffield United get any further in front. And Willett fires a shot from outside the box. He had space to run then. I think we are set up not to dribble, aren't we? Maybe that's why. We're set up not to dribble, so they pass it about a lot more. A lot of our players do seem to still dribble with the ball, but Willett then not tempted to dribble with the ball. He shot from far out. We're still playing counter here. I don't want to go defensive. I don't want to sit too deep in that. What we're doing at the moment, we're really limiting Millwall. And I don't know if you can hear that. There are fans ironically cheering way every time we pass the ball about. This time it comes to Danny Devine. Gilliard gets his head over the top, but no one on the end of it. Millwall clear desperately, but it comes back. Kelly, for not having much sharpness, is moving really well with the ball. Willock, as he always does, he always seems to try that cheeky little chip shot. He scored a few goals with that this season after breaking through the lines, but didn't work for him this time. This time Kelly from way outside the box takes a deflection, goes for a corner. This time Liam Kelly's going to be on the ball. He's possibly going to have to be coming off the pitch pretty soon. We're going to have to be thinking about bringing Nicky Law on. Billy Clark. We could bring Billy Clark on, but Nicky Law did really well in that last game. That he does deserve to get back onto the pitch for this one. So what is Liam Kelly at? 72%. He's not actually doing too badly. Josh Cullen, meanwhile, is pretty tired, but I think we've got a little bit of a break after this Millwall game. We don't really want to take Cullen off the field. Obviously we could do, because we do have Clark and Law on the bench who could fill in there, but Kelly this time almost finds Gilliard on the right. Millwall look like they're going to break. No, hopefully they don't. It comes to Shane Ferguson. Lafarge, meanwhile, he finds Onyedima, and there's Steve Morrison. That's an excellent goal. We're going to go a little bit more, get a little bit more into this. And Liam Kelly is back to 79% now, so we'll get Law on. Keane, though, he's really not been performing. We're going to replace him with Charlie White. We're going to let him know that just because he's the best player in the team, that he's not always guaranteed to be on the field. Hopefully that fires him up for the next match, but we've let Millwall back into this game. Hopefully we're not going to let him even further into this game, but hopefully we've got a chance to break now. Nicky Law charging forward, gets it to White. White breaks, takes a deflection, goes wide, and we've got a corner with 5 minutes to go. Ball set into the box. White gets his head onto it. So White, in the couple of minutes that he's been on, has pretty much done more than what Keane did whilst he was on the pitch. I'm not quite sure what's up with Keane. He should be a And that goes wide. He should be doing a lot better in this division, but we do create chances for our forwards. As you can see, we've had a lot of shots. I just don't know why he's not really getting much out of the games at the moment. But there's full time. 1-1 draw against Millwall. Not too bad considering where we were before the match with the state of the team with injuries at the moment. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players missing. 5 players missing from the team, and we forgot to do a team talk. Forgot to do a team talk. Not that it matters, but anyway, yeah. So Meredith, man of the match, a really good performance from him. We dominated the game again, but once again we're throwing away a lead. Maybe we should have gone a bit more attacking, but in 27 games we've only lost 5 matches, which is really good for this season. We're about where we would have expected. Hopefully we can start pushing on. Sheffield United ended up losing, it looks like. We could have been within 2 points of them. But anyway, that's worked out for us there in that we're still within touching distance of Sheffield United. So anyway, that's where we're at the moment now. 2 decent results. A little disappointing with this one, considering we were 1-0 up and then threw it away after limiting Millwall for much of the game. But from where we were before the game, it's not too bad. So next time, I think we'll come back with the Bolton game, since Stuart McCall is now in charge at Bolton. We'll come back at Bolton. It looks like we're only going to have Colin Doyle out for that game. So maybe, hopefully, depending on match sharpness, we can have most of the squad back together. And then after this one, when's Colin Doyle back? He's going to be out up until he's out for a long time. So hopefully we can keep players fit. And then maybe once we get to Swindon, Scunthorpe, maybe for the last 8 or so games of the season, we can actually have the first team, which is something we've not had at all this season. We've not, at one point this season, be able to field our strongest 11. But that's football. That's the way it goes. But that's it for this episode. So thank you everybody for tuning in. But until next time, goodbye.